Hey guys, and welcome back to Building Habits. In case you're new here, this is a series where I introduce a set of rules you should try and follow in every game you play. The goal is to teach you strong fundamental principles that we will improve upon as we go. This series is my personal take on how to improve in chess, starting from 400 ELO all the way up to 2000 ELO and beyond. I'm going to choose a series of rules that I have to follow. What you might notice is that you will miss chances to play winning moves. That's okay. The goal here is to focus on the fundamentals, and I'm trying to get you guys to build good habits and play high percentage moves that will help you increase your rating. HM or H McCarthy 233. Numbers in his name. I'm not scared of him. Okay, how many times have we seen this, guys? Build those habits. Seriously. You guys can almost start guessing the moves that I'm going to be making. Now, in this case, can I take that? Yes, I can take it. Will I? Maybe not, because I haven't been taking this on move 2, probably any game so far. I've generally been getting the knights out, getting the bishop out, and then thinking about taking it. Should you take this if it's available early? Sure. But what I'm saying is that even if you don't do that, I think following these rules will be, you'll be playing principled chess. Bishop out. How many times have I done that? Okay, bishop there. We're taking it. Doesn't matter. It's a trade. I'm going to take it. And every time they've taken back, what have we been doing? We've been putting the knight in the center of the board, as always. If this square or this square are available, I'm going to choose one of them. Okay, bishop takes. Bishop in the center of the board. Easy. Okay, his queen goes out. Is it threatening something? Do I care? Can I castle? Yes. We'll see what he does. Technically, if I was playing but the black pieces here, I would also castle. Okay, the pawn attacks the bishop. I'll move the bishop back. I could definitely move the bishop here, but let's say I go here because this is the square I developed to, and you know, I'm used to moving it back when the pawn goes there. So maybe I go here. Okay, he goes there. Boom, we capture that. What should I do? Probably capture it. Why? Because I was just on that square. I know it's a safe square, and it looks like a free pawn, and it's in the center. Now, can I take b7 and trap the rook? Absolutely. Will I? Hell no. Bishop takes bishop. That's a trade. Now I'm probably going to bring the rook to the center. Okay, he castles. I'm like, dude, didn't you just blunder your pawn? You're terrible. I'm going to take that. Do you think I get banned if I started tryharding? Definitely. Definitely. Oh yeah. No, for sure. They know I'm hard stuck 400. Chess.com knows. Okay, rook takes f2. I don't even know that I've missed the fact that I could have lost the game there because I'm 400. And that's why I say the 400s have it nice sometimes. Me as a grandmaster, after playing rook takes e6, if I had like a blood pressure monitor, like you'd see that thing really be looping. If I had a monitor on a 400, it's just like consistent 75 or something. Consistent 75. Okay, what have I not been doing this whole game? d3. I haven't got this bishop out. Maybe I've been playing too hastily, and I'm like taking a back step. I'm like, wait a minute. I haven't developed this bishop at all. This is crazy. The whole game I haven't moved it. Got to get this developed. 400 would play g3 and attack the queen. Not following my rules. Following my rules, maybe I shouldn't have even taken that. I should have played d3 and bishop at first. But I got a little greedy. I went rook there to the open file. They castled, and I was like, dude, you didn't defend yourself. I'm taking that. Now, where can the bishop go? No. We're playing bishop d2. Knight c5. Attacking my rook. I see that. Where should my rook go? Let's keep in the center. Some central squares, and I'm attacking the knight. Am I going to see bishop e1 here? Of course not. That's ridiculous. Very strong move. No chance I see it. For now, I'm just saving my rook and attacking this knight. Okay, knight a4. Now, I sort of see what he's up to. He's trying to attack my pawn there. I don't think b3 is unreasonable here. Don't think b3 is unreasonable. I think I might even do it. I think b3 is pretty logical here. It's almost time for that move in front of my king, but it's quite possible that I view this position a little bit differently than before. You know, like, I don't think everyone's just going to be doing this when there's a queen and a rook just sitting there. So my queen has to move. None of those squares look very normal. In the past, I've only gone to those two squares. I can't really go to either of them, though. I think this move is the most reasonable. Do I know that it attacks this? Maybe, maybe not, but I think it's the most reasonable move. It's towards the center. It controls central squares. And in the past, I've chosen one of these two squares, so I don't think queen e1 is that far off. You guys can see them play g3 and lose. I agree. 400s might play g3s and lose. But if you guys check the rules on the screen, and if you guys have been watching so far, what moves we've been playing, why would anyone play g3? It hasn't been part of any of the moves I've ever played. I have pretty much never played the move g3 as white, so there's no reason why I should start doing it now. So rook f3. So will I take the free queen or take the free rook? It's more likely I take the free rook. Why? Number one, it's the last move he made. If he made a rook move, so I'm focused on that square and I'm looking at this, and it's a free piece. So I take a free piece. But of course I would choose the rook. Knight takes d3. Now, technically, I should be seeing this, but this is the last move he made. I can take it. I definitely take the knight. No way I take the queen there. Okay, he takes. What am I going to do? Most likely use the rook. I haven't moved yet. Bring it into the game and towards the center. Now, he goes rook f8. We're in the endgame. You know, it's time for the king. But number one thing that I've always said is trade pieces. So whether or not this move is obvious, that is the best move in the position. And I think even at the 400 level, eventually you start to realize when you're up material, trade. Trade is the way to do it. So rook e8's the best move. I think it's entirely possible I don't play it, though. Let's say we activate our king. Let's say here, I defend my pawn. In the endgames, we're supposed to move our king. We go king g2. Okay, b5. We see that's a hanging pawn. We got our rook there in the center. Okay, he's attacking us. We're just going to move and attack the guy that just attacked us. He's going there. We're just going to chase him. We don't see this. g5, I could take it, but I'm focused on taking this pawn because those are the last like 3 moves I've made. Now he defends it. What am I going to do? Maybe back in the center. Go take a center pawn. Maybe I should be advancing a pawn here, but I'm pretty focused on kind of cleaning up his material. Nothing fancy. Exactly, Don the Second. Trying to show you guys that if you follow a relatively simple set of rules, you'll be able to win most of your games and get out of the 400 ELO bracket. We can't allow that move to go unnoticed. We're going to keep taking all the pawns. We're going to take that. We're going to take that. At 400, am I going to leave a pawn on the board for some sort of no stalemate thing? No, I'm going to take that. And now I've been in this position before. Start pushing your pawn. Now, maybe I'm so focused on pushing my pawn that I blunder my rook, but let's just say I don't. Let's just say I don't. And imagine he had played king f6. I played d7. He plays king f5. I played d8. That'd be a stalemate. That would absolutely be totally legit. I'm just lucky. I don't know that I'm lucky, but I'm actually very lucky. Okay, I'm going to make a queen move in the center of the board. And here, pretty much as long as every single move is check, you can't mess anything up. So let's go there. GG. I think it's fair to get that checkmate in. We take those. Remember, as long as every move is check, you're fine. Maybe he'll come back. Not this game. Not this game. In fact, I got a nice comeback win because my opponent missed checkmate in 2, so, or checkmate in 3. So, all right, another win. We don't click on analyze. We don't learn anything from those. Easy. All right, we got a 400 here. Let's go E4. E5. You guys can almost start guessing what moves I'm going to play. I've played them every single game. Build those habits, guys. Seriously. These are not hard moves to predict. You guys know I'm probably going to do this next. Yeah. Okay. I would normally play this. This guy just played this move. This will take some time to get used to, but count how many things are attacking it. I don't think it would be crazy to take this in the center. I know that I've got my pieces out. I'm going to take that. Although it blunders the pawn, maybe taking with the pawn was better. I think I would take with the knight 10 times out of 10. Why? Knight in the center. Every time that our opponents played knight d4, it's not been knight takes e5, it's been knight takes knight. Every time. Every time. What rating do you learn fried liver? Probably like, you know, the next step after this. Okay, bishop takes because, hey, that's in the center. Knight there. Again, just like I said, I could take this pawn. It's a great move, but I'm going to take the knight. I'm going to take the knight, and I'm going to castle quickly. Lucatoso98 says, can you play your standard chess? I'll lose every single game after watching this type of content. Oh, Luca. I apologize, man, but let's be real. You're going to lose every single game, regardless of whether you watch this content. So you may as well just go heat up some popcorn and sit your ass right in front of that computer. All right, let's go d3. Now, d3 is what I've done before. I'd like to get my bishop out. I don't really have any good squares to do so. I'm going to go bishop to d2. Next moves, you can already see, are these type of moves. Bishop h3. Without even thinking about what to do against this, literally, I would probably say out loud, like, what the hell is this guy up to? Or like, what is he doing? So I'm going to take it. I mean, that's a free piece. It's on our list. Hey, if this gets me mated, it gets me mated. But we said, take free pieces. So I have to. I have to. Check. Again, I touch my king. Of course I can block, but no, it's unlikely. 1 dot, we're going. And now what? Maybe I'm getting mated, but again, king to the corner. We safe, we safe. Queen f6. Okay, now, I think it's fair that based on what's happened over here, I might change my moves a little bit and adjust to the fact that it's a bit of a weird game compared to some of my others, but let's say I don't. Let's honestly say I don't. Let's say I just go here. Okay. Queen h4. I mean, he's threatening some pawns. It's clear to me, speaking to you guys from outside the game, what's going to happen. It's going to be there and there. I don't think it's unreasonable to go queen here. And, you're 400. It's not like you don't have a brain. So it's not like you're literally gonna watch this guy check you, sack a whole piece, bring his queen there, take a pawn, and just mate you. Let's give some credit to the 400s here. They wouldn't allow mate here, and e5 is actually a move that follows a lot of the principles that we've been talking about. Central pawn push, supported by these pieces, makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, bishop goes back. Probably not unreasonable to bring this rook over. f6. Take every time. And you know what? I do not think I do not think it would be crazy to play queen takes e7 mate. As long as you do your calculations, the queen and rook are lined up. We've actually been working towards this. e5, we take, because we always do trades. I think we can take this. That's a free piece, and look at that, it's mate. We can take that for sure. That's right. Well, then keep taking notes there, Potent. Never again, buddy. If something weird is going on in front of your king, you might have to change up some of your moves to play a little more defensively. Yep. Oh, we'll take that. 431. We're getting better. Exactly. Exactly. If your rating goes up, you're definitely getting better. Definitely getting better. There's no question about it. Have we lost any games? Oh, we've lost a lot of games. We've lost our fair share. We've lost our fair share. Okay, we won the game. Next game. Obviously, we're not going to bother trying to learn anything. Long journey ahead. Absolutely. Okay, there. Habits. E5. We know this. Knight there. We always go with knight here. Okay, bishop b5. We haven't seen this before, but based on our rules, what did I say? Every time my bishop goes there, we play this. Now here, am I going to play this move? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's capturing away from the center. I said towards the center. We play b takes. Definitely. d3. Now, totally reasonable, in my opinion, to play knight here, bishop there. But I think by the same token, it's also possible for us to realize that our pawn is loose here. Now, with that being said, I'm going to play this because I think it's possible, we've been setting up this way every single time, that we don't really realize that we can lose this pawn. So I'm playing this setup that I sort of want to do, which is knight out, bishop out, and then d6. Because I've been doing that every single time. Now, based on this game, if he takes here, I might learn that that's not what you're supposed to do. But he doesn't take it. He offers a trade. I've always taken it. So I'm going to take, and then I'm going to play d6. I'm going to guard this pawn, and that's usually the next move I do anyway. So d4. That's an immediate take. And you know what comes next? Not taking here, but castling. Castle as soon as possible. There we go. Okay, e5. We know we're taking it. We know we're taking it. There's no question. He takes with the knight. Now, this pawn is hanging. Sure, I could defend that. But bishop e6. Let's get the piece developed exactly where we usually develop it. Rook e8. Queen d6. Rook d8. Queen e7. Rook e8. Rook d8. Those are going to be the next moves that I do, basically. Trading for no reason should be on the list. Yeah. Like I said, there's many rules that are not on the list that I am following and that I've mentioned, but I simply just can't write everything. Okay, so you play queen there. I played a quick move here. This pawn was hanging, but yeah, it's very reasonable. This was my next move to do, and it lines up against the queen. Okay, after sitting there for a move, I think it's reasonable that I find a hanging pawn in the center of the board. Okay, do we see this? Not sure. Our queen's well placed in the center. This might be where we play a move like this. And hey, maybe we blunder this. Totally, totally possible. The queen's being hit. My queen's got to move. Let's bring the queen back here. Looks like a reasonable move. It is usually where I've brought my queen when it gets attacked. Knight takes d8. We're going to take back with the rook. 80%. What is that? Oh, 60% chance. 60% chance. I agree. So he's developing. This is fine. I think, again, a very reasonable move is one of these random pawn moves, h6 or h5, in front of my king. It's time for that move. It's time for that move. Knight e4. That's an immediate take. That's an immediate take. Immediate. Queen takes e4. Now, it's my turn. I sort of need some random moves, probably some pawns. Now, learning experience. Am I going to take this? No. I'm just not going to do it. I should do it, and hopefully I learn. But unfortunately, I'm probably not going to play it. Let's bring our queen here. Queen for rook at a 400 level. You just don't give up your queen. That's just not something you do. Let's take that. 400s take those rooks. Not in my opinion. Let's push more pawns. What's up, Toph? Ooh, in on Blackberry, eh? Okay, that's a check. We move the king. He's taking our pawn. Our turn. I think at some point, you know, maybe a bishop move to hit that rook. That's right. 400s know the queen is 9 and rook is 5. That's not a good trade. Seriously, you won't see a queen for a rook. Yeah, I know it's 2 rooks, but a queen for rook trade in general, without some serious consideration. So rook d5 is played. I think it's totally reasonable to play queen e1 mate, like completely reasonable. If we played this, it would technically be hanging something for free. I think it's the most reasonable way to blunder that, but it technically doesn't follow our rules, which is, you know, we want to take free things and we do not want to give free things. So, assuming we see this, which is part of the rules, I know it's unlikely, but we're going to play this. It's a double check you always do. If you're ever thinking about doing some back rank stuff, you don't hang something for free. You don't hang it for free, and that technically is for free. There's no way 400 wouldn't play it. Again, it's not what a 400 would do. It's what we're going to do as a 400 following the rules on screen. Okay. This, we literally don't care. That's a free rook. We take that. Okay, here, we take that back, obviously. Thank you, Andy. Now, here, taking, do we know it's a tactic? No, but do we also know that that's a hanging piece? Yes. I would say, again, decent chance that gets taken, but let's go for a move that follows some of our principles. Let's give a check, and let's take a free pawn. Okay, he takes here. At this point, I mean, 400 is probably very likely to move the queen. We also talked about moving the king. I think it's totally reasonable, but I think that at this point, you'd probably move the queen and just try to check the king. It's kind of hard to establish that you should start moving a pawn or start moving a king. So I think like we want to basically check him there. So let's put the queen in the center, a nice central square, and look to check him. First g3, yeah, that's definitely not a 400 move. Okay, he goes here. Let's give a check. We love checks. Okay, here picks up the pawn, but here is closer, so we check there. Okay, now going backwards is kind of unlikely, so let's check there. G3 now, way too difficult, way too difficult. Central squares, we've kind of talked about those. Let's give another check. Let's give another check. Random pawn move G3. Let's give another check. I could take this, absolutely, but I think it's totally reasonable to keep checking. I think that's very on brand. Check, check, check. Even if I had a king and queen, it's quite possible that I check like this too. Just check forever. Right? This is a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. Oh, and I had my first draw. I had my first draw. Don't know what a draw is, but probably didn't even know how I got it. Probably didn't even know how I got it, but we got our first draw. That was a lot of checks, I know. But I think that's probably how the endgame would be handled. Probably how it would be handled. I did the best. I did the best I can do. A draw, we analyzed those. We analyzed those. +1, exactly. +1. Let's check the report. 85.4% accuracy. We're improving. Chess.com wants me to practice castling again. Makes 0 sense. Makes 0 sense. Mate in 3. Again, I'm terrible at mate in 3. Threefold repetition. There's one. There's one we can actually learn from. That's a good one. Neprosto! 32 gifted subs. Holy cow. Any Dodgers in chat? Thank you, Neprosto. Plus 32 points, 32 gifted subs. Well, Neprosto, if I realize those are the conditions, I might start smurfing up to 3,000. Oh, it's a gifted sub per ELO. In that case, let's put these guys in the dirt. Thank you, Neprosto. 32. Big thank yous to Neprosto all around in chat. Anyone got a gifted sub? Say thank you. Say thank you. You know the guy. Neprosto. There we go. Let's get back here. Apparently we're supposed to practice castling again. Again. Show brilliant move. Was there a brilliant move? Wait, there actually was a brilliant move. Holy smokes. Doesn't seem to say it here. Let me click it. What? This guy got a brilliant move? For that? Is that a joke? I have taken rooks before. That's a joke. That's an insult to my chess. I have 85% accuracy. You've given this guy brilliant for taking a rook? Must be a joke. Guys, in this position, the best move is knight takes d8, and then the next best move is -6. You're telling me because this guy didn't play a -6 move, he gets double exclamation mark? That's just crazy. Just crazy. Oh well, our opponent's brilliant. That's what we learned there. Brilliant move against the GM. Oh man, I'm gonna go on his YouTube channel now. I can feel it. Thanks, Eric, gifting a sub as well. We had Gibes or Gibes 2 with the prime sub. Cthulhu loves you. 7 months at tier 2. I might add. At tier 2. Chess Canuck for 10 months. Rap Frank also coming in for 9. Yeah, the Smash tournament should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. That is upcoming. Yeah, I hope so too, Joe. I hope he analyzed that game so he saw his brilliant move. On to the next one. Okay, e4. We've done this. Let's go here. Yeah, same, Alex. Same, buddy. Okay, we've done this before, guys. You can start predicting these moves. They mean it's brilliant for a 400? Maybe, eh? Okay, I don't know what this move is, but I'm going to keep doing my normal stuff. Again, not too sure what that is, so I'm going to do my normal thing. Castle. And I am doing these moves kind of quickly, but the moves that I'm seeing from him, they're not really threatening too much. Like, they're not imposing on my position at all. Okay, bishop out. You know what we do. We always do this move. If he takes us, we always take back with the queen if we can avoid taking him the pawns. We've done this before. We've done this before. So nothing I'm doing is too special. You could literally watch this video, watch this stream, and just copy it. You guys have seen my moves. I start with e4. I bring the knight. Bring the other knight. I usually bring this bishop here. Okay, knight there. That's it. That's an exchange. We take that, and where have we always put this knight after an exchange? 1000% on d5. All the time. Always. Pin the knight? Sure. No, you guys have lots of good moves. I don't dispute that. But the goal is not necessarily to play the best move. It's to follow the rules. The rules are on screen. We are learning. I hope so. Okay, so that's the capture, which is why I took that. I'm going to bring my rook to the center. Okay, he castled this way. The guy's probably looking for A+ on the chess.com castling practice. Okay, I'm going to bring my rook to the center. Okay, queen there. Again, time for some sort of random pawn moves. I'm going to play this. This has been a pawn move I've actually gone with before, which is why I'm playing it now. I've done it before. Okay, guys, every time I've seen this move, where have I gone? This is just habits. I've always gone here. Always. Okay, this one I'm being attacked. To be fair, when I've been attacked here, I can't really remember, but I think I've gone to the center. I'm just going to go there just to play the move that I think I've done the most when I've been attacked. Plus, it's in the center. We generally want to occupy the center, so I'm going to go here. Queen there. Hey, I'm going to make a central pawn move. Let's go. G6. Again, I think at this point, I'm sort of past the point of, I've made my random pawn moves. I got my piece in the center. All my pieces are pretty much developed exactly where I want them. I don't think it hurts to make a threat here. This pawn is on an open file, so I don't think that's crazy, but I think staying a little bit more in the center makes some sense. Let's go here. C6 won a piece. Yes, it did. Okay, I made a threat and my opponent didn't react. So I'm basically going to take it. Basically going to take that. Guys, remember, I'm not like smurfing here. I'm not trying to sit here and say, I have, I'm just going to crush this 400. I know I'm missing lots of things. He's missing lots of things. I'm just trying to say, look, if you guys play sort of the way I'm outlining, we'll see what ELO we get to doing that. Now, bishop c6, great move. Bishop b7, great move. Mate in 1, great move. Would I do it? Of course I wouldn't do it. This is a trade. Of course I wouldn't do mate in 1. I would trade. Okay, he goes rook there. Let's start pushing more pawns. We've talked about this. If trades are available, equal value or better, we take those. Hell yeah. Okay, we're pushing more pawns. It wouldn't be crazy to occupy the open file with the rook. Rook b1 I can see happening. I'm just pushing pawns here. That's a capture. We take those immediately. Bishop e6, but that's a tactic. We don't do those. How about a check? We can do checks. He's going to be forced to play this move, and we're going to take it because that's a capture. Okay, now it's my turn again. Probably going to play here because it's sort of like a open file, and it's in the center. Okay, bishop over there. We're getting close to the endgame, so I don't think it's absurd to start bringing my king to the middle. We'll see what he wants to play here. He's activating his king as well. I know it's not the best, but let's start activating my king even more. Bringing it to the center. My bishop's attacked. Can only move it so many places, but this makes a lot of sense. This, it can't go to there, can't go to there, and bishop f7 is quite offside, whereas this stays controlling the center. So I think it's pretty reasonable. I'm trying to make moves that make sense based on some of the rules that I've been outlining this whole stream. Okay, king closer to the center. I've activated my king all the way out. What is a tactic? Like a fork or a pin or a skewer, stuff like that. Double attack, discovered attack. All those are tactics. Okay, that's a trade. Definitely do that. Okay, my turn. Maybe I go here. Rook in the center. Am I attacking 2 pawns? Who knows? All I'm doing is I'm going here to attack that. Do I know it's a fork? Not really. All I see is that I'm attacking this pawn, and it's a move in the center. It's all I've been focusing on this game. Moves in the center. F4. Well, this was the pawn I was planning to take the whole time, so I'm going to take it. My attention is focused on the rook now. This is being hit. It's a rook move in the center. And it's a check. Okay, do I know about this discovered check? And will I play rook h5? Of course not. Of course not. But what I've been saying in the endgame is use your king a lot and attack pawns. You guys can see that's the 5th blue piece of advice on the screen right now. Move the king a lot and attack the pawns. So if you get into an endgame, it's like, it sounds crazy, but if you just move your king and just start attacking their pawns, you'll have a lot of success, honestly. Try it. He goes back. Actually, everything's protected here. Everything's protected. So what I'll do is I'll probably go attack another pawn. I think in the end game, simplest piece of advice is just attack as many pawns as possible. Do I know this is a check? No. I'm just attacking the pawn. I'm wondering why he's not playing a3, and he goes here, and I'm like, okay, dude, you're bad. I'm taking your pawn. He goes king up. Again, I've got this rook. Checks are always tempting. Checks are always tempting. Maybe we start pushing this pawn. I think Weirdhawk has got a good grip on the idea. The point is, you don't need tactics to improve as a 400. You'll eventually learn them. You'll eventually improve with them. But don't focus on them when you're starting out. Okay, let's go here because it attacks a pawn. Electroman says, anyone have a good way to contact chess.com? So we've definitely probably made so many blunders that Electroman's like, yeah, hey, chess.com, been watching your buddy Hambo on Chess TV. Seems like a pretty bad influence for the kids. Anyway, I can contact chess.com, get this guy banned. Okay, he goes king there. Our pawn's attacked. Do we know how to defend it? Not really. We're going to push it. Our rook's protecting. Oh, he takes with the bishop. We're going to use our king a lot. King takes a pawn. Okay, we're going to go back, try to take it again. Okay, and did we know how to win this endgame? Not really. But all we did was we put our pieces on squares where they attacked our opponent's pawns, and we used our king. That's the most important thing. That's all that's written on the screen. Bring your king the heck into the game in the endgame. You need it. You need it. And yes, that's the other thing, Andy. No tactics, no pre-moves. We'll learn that later. You guys can unleash your full potential. That's a win. That's a win. As someone who lurks, usually, and is actually 490, I want to say this is actually appreciated. Well, let's go. You're very welcome, bud. Okay. Slag dump. Thanks, man. Okay, he goes here. What did I say? Usually when he uses this knight, we use the opposite to cover the exact squares. Now, I'm going to go, and again, cover the opposite. So he's doing my opening. So I'm looking at Buddy like, wait a minute. You're pretty good, man. However, it's not really going to stop me from doing this. Now, he's playing knight g5. What do we do against knight g5? We'll probably castle. Why? We want to castle ASAP. It's written on the screen right there. And hey, it happens to cover it. d3. Now, I would probably play d6, but we also know that eventually, we've always talked about bishop and knights hanging out here. We do not want to let that happen for too long. Bishop there, we're going to take it. We've taken the bishop every time it's gone there. We've also kicked out the knight or bishop every time it's on g5. You guys can see, I'm just playing exactly what I would. Rook e8, I've always brought my rook there. I've always brought my bishop here. Okay, he decides to castle pretty quickly. I'm inclined to just take that. I always bring my queen here, and I always bring the rook over. This is pretty much how I've played every game. Nothing special. Now, do I know that this is a tactic and it's a pin? No, of course not. But I can look at this and still say, okay, I see what you're up to, so I'm not going to take that. But I didn't see this move. If I saw it, I might not have played queen there. I should have probably played queen here, or maybe b6. But hey, he hit me with this. I'm just going to keep playing my normal stuff. I'm going to keep playing my normal stuff. He takes me. I'm going to take it back. Okay. And he's gone rook there. Probably time for some sort of random pawn move. Just chuck that up there. Knight b5. Okay, so he might be making a threat here. Do I see that? Not necessarily. Do I see that his knight moving away technically moves away from a pawn in the center? I think the answer could be yes. But I'm just going to make another random pawn move. You're not going to see everything. You're not going to capitalize on every mistake. So sure, it's reasonable that at some point the guy's going to go here and I am going to take this pawn. But maybe it wouldn't be right away. Maybe it wouldn't be right away. Now, normally I'd like to kick that knight out with a6, but I'd already played a5. So I couldn't really attack the knight. He's left the pawn there long enough. I think it's probably about time I take it. Rook takes d6. At this point, I can only assume that my opponent is smoking the finest crack. I simply have to take it. It's a pawns move diagonally. There's nothing, no Grandmaster magic here. Knight moving backwards to take this pawn. I don't think that's the most obvious. At this point, more central moves. Maybe queen in the middle. Blunder this. Am I going to see queen a2 and queen a1 mate? Of course not. Am I going to see that I can maybe take this pawn? Yes. How many times has my queen been attacked in the center? And you guys have seen me play queen d6. Probably every time. Of course I'm not going to see that. He's going to take my rook. By the way, this is probably a brilliant fucking move there. Yeah, great. Thanks a lot, chess.com. So I'm going to take it. Rook d1. My queen's attacked. I'm going to move it away. I think this is reasonable. I'm not sure which square is more likely, but I was just on this square, so let's go back. So I'm up a piece here. I'm up a piece, but still a tricky position. He goes there. What do we do? Trade immediately. Immediately trade. We know that. We know that. Here, time for more random pawn moves. Pawn moves in the center. I pretty much always go for. Pawn moves in the center and queen moves in the center. These are all kind of expected moves. Okay, he's going g3. I'm just doing random pawns at this point. Rook d8 trade. Yeah. If I set that up like this, that would probably be pretty good. Okay, he's going rook d7. I'm still going with the pawns here. So I've already got my king, that safe square from earlier. We know that. And from here, I usually push my pawns to the point of exhaustion. Okay, my queen's being hit. I'm probably going to go back to one of the safest squares that I've been utilizing the whole game, which is this one. We'll see what he goes for here. But yeah, once I push all the pawns, then we got to start doing it. Okay, he's played king there. What am I supposed to do, guys? He's blundered a whole rook. It might take me a while to notice this, but he's blundered a whole rook, and it's for free. And what does building habits say right on the screen right there? You take free things. Try not to lose free things and take free things. You have to take it. And then we have to take this. That's a queen trade. We always take trades. And we'll take this. That's another trade. And now I have to win the game. Now I have to win the game. Do I have any pass pawns? Not really. Am I probably going to play a bunch of random pawn moves? Yes. Am I also going to look to bring my king in? Yes. That's what we should do. Rook to an open file, which usually happens. I should bring my king in. I definitely need my king. King to center. Exactly, John. I mean, this is exactly what we want to do. Take. Anytime we have a take, easy take. Easy take. Okay? He doesn't know, buddy. I'll follow these rules all day. Okay? Well, he's kind of helped me out here because now I don't think it's silly for me to go get this queen. In this position, converting this might take some practice. I think taking the pawn is very reasonable. And in this position, we just have to check him, basically. Remember, at some point when you're trying to work out, hey, how do I deliver like checkmate? Try to check him every single move. Every single move. You check him every single move, you won't make a mistake. Queen there, that's checkmate. GG. That's right, Botaflocka. Thanks, Malcolm Reynolds, for the 6 months as well. Support for the fine lessons. Well, cheers. Autopilot victories. But I know it might look like at the end that I'm sort of cheating, but I really want to be clear that I'm not doing anything that's super extravagant. I'm really following what's written on the screen. Like, I'm just checking because I think at some point checking is a very natural move. If you can check the opponent's king, it's generally pretty tempting to do that. And it says on the screen, make lots of king moves and attack your opponent's pawns. And we already know from a couple pieces of advice up. Number 2 in the blue, it says control center and always go towards the center. The rook, the knight, they're all controlling the center. The king moving towards the center, attacking the opponent's pawns. And then he's offering me things that I'm taking. You just have to take. Taking. I mean, I'm really not doing anything too extravagant here. Elka Dark Lighter, thanks for the 5 gifted subs. And Rick Ziski, thanks for the 3 months. Man, 5 subs, let's go, Elka. I really appreciate that. And it turned out to be an elegant mate. Did I know it was going to be an elegant mate? No, that was just a check. That was just a check. Until when do these rules start to fail? Well, let's be clear, guys. I haven't won every single game. No. If you guys think this is some sort of Smurf session where I'm winning every single game, it's not the case at all. Right? We've been on a really good streak here, but we lost a bunch of games. This is where it started off right here. We lost our first game. We won. We lost. We won. We won. Lost. Lost. Won. Lost. But since then, we've been on a winning streak. We had a game where we should have lost, but we got a draw. We got some wins. But this is how these rules are supposed to work. When you first start off with the rules, of course, you're not going to go as well. But the more games you play, the higher sample size, the more they're going to work. Because the whole point is we're building habits. The more games that you play, the more I'm like, oh, e4, e5, I've seen that before. I always go knight f3. Oh, I always go knight c3. And then you can go faster and faster. So the more games you play, of course, the better it's going to work out. Is never resign a rule? Yeah, I can't write all the rules on the screen, unfortunately, but never resign is definitely a rule. And take anything that you can is a rule. Okay, we got another one. Well, remember, we're going to add things to this later on in the series. For now, we're working with these rules, but they'll be added too. Okay, e4. We know about this. We've done this before. We've done this before. We've actually had this exact position before. And we've always gone here. So these are not crazy moves so far. And actually, guys, do you remember? We've even seen this move before. What happened last time we did it? We just took. So we're going to play the exact same way. We've had a game that went exactly like this so far. And we haven't seen anyone do this yet. We haven't. Now, what should I do? Castle as soon as possible. Let's go. Potent, it means later on in general. Because I might spend a decent amount of time at this level in this ELO or following the rules on screen before adding more things. Because I want to get a high sample size. Maybe like something like 50 to 100 games using each set of rules. And then we add more to it. So no, it won't be tonight. Okay, bishop e6. So he's hitting my knight. He's threatening to win it. So it is hanging. Now, if I go d3, it's a little strange. Why am I going to attack a knight when I've got my knight hanging? I have to react to this. That's what would happen. So, got to move this. Now, am I going to know that I should go to this square? I think it's possible. Number one, I know I have to move it. So where can I move it to? I sort of go around. I look at all the dots. I'll probably notice that all of these are not safe. And I'll only have 2 safe moves left. Knight here and knight here. I think knight c3 is totally reasonable. I think knight e3 would actually be the correct move here because it guards my bishop. But knight c3, it breaks one of our cardinal rules. It hangs a piece for free. We can't do it. We can't do it. So whenever you're looking to move a piece, check where you're putting it and make sure you're not hanging anything for free. If you look at those rules on screen, I have to play this move. It's the only move that does not hang that bishop for free. You can say, hey, 400 would blunder that. Sure. But if you literally write these things down, have them right beside your screen, these are the rules, and you're playing a game, sure, you might blunder this, then you lose the game, but those are the rules. Those are the rules. Let's take that. We don't blunder anything for free, and we take everything for free. Hey, what's up, Brando? Yeah, no sacrifices, Brando. I'm not sure you're going to be able to watch the full stream. For those wondering, Brando the bully in chat, he's actually someone who's utilized this program that I'm outlining to you guys. He's currently rated about 2,300, chess.com, but he started out no better than this. So that's someone who's actually moved his way through the program. Started out right where you guys are, watching the stream right now, building his habits, and he's actually one of our poster childs for the program. Hey, Jose MVP 31, thanks for the raid, buddy. Welcome, welcome, guys. Oh yeah, we got it. We got to get the spam in here. Let's go. Welcome, guys. Every time someone types these spam things, I have to personally allow the message, and I will make a point to allow every single one. D3, a move that I wanted to play anyway, happens to attack a knight. Bonus. Okay, rook to e1, exactly what I've been doing. Welcome, guys. We're doing like a rating ladder series right now. Starting out with some rules that you can see on screen. You have to follow the rules, and we'll see what rating we get to. Okay, this is a capture. Captures we always do. Captures we always do. This capture is available. We'll take that. Okay. Queen out, rook over. This is exactly what we want. What if good? Thanks for the bits and profit as well with the sub. Yeah, appreciate that raid a lot. Let's get the rook over. We've been talking about, this is the setup that we sort of want to do. Gonna have to, okay, this pawn is being hit. I think it's reasonable to defend it. Hey, Squallion. Well, I just got a raid, so miss a trade, get a raid. And I did do the trade, so it worked out the exact same way. A5, probably A4. You got homies over there, I got homies over there. Knight, I think I'm going to take this time to make that important move that I always talk about of king safety square. Now, this. Always capture towards the center is our rule for this. And it looks like a free pawn, so I'm going to take it. Now, this position, we sort of need some moves here. I'm going to play c3, which is a move I've played before, in order to help me play this move. This is actually something that I generally use. Whenever I'm sort of wondering what move to do, I almost always play this, followed by this. It really has been a regular thing for me. Okay, takes. I'm going to take back, capture towards the center. Rook there. We've talked about how this is tempting, but it doesn't really represent our situation. Queen for rook does not look like a good trade to most 400s. We're not going to do it, and we have not been taking rooks for queens. Even though it's 2 rooks, we're not going to do it. That's a trade. We're going to take back. Now, I understand it's pretty hard to follow these rules because sometimes you may simply get the feeling like, hey, look, I get that I can reach a high rating using these rules, but the problem is I do blunder my pieces, and I don't see that they're attacked. Let's make a pawn push in the center. Okay, he's attacking our queen. Let's make a queen move. That looks like it's in the center. But you know, if you work on that, I think you can definitely get there. That's the main thing, though. Not hanging things for free is so key and so hard to do. Okay, who knows? Maybe queen to the middle. Well, hang your pieces is one thing, MCJGP, but I truly mean hang. So I'm saying, look, you can blunder things all the time. Everyone's going to blunder. But try not to blunder a full piece for absolutely nothing. That's what we're saying. Full hanging free pieces are not allowed. Okay, he goes here, and who knows what I'm going to do, but obviously I'm going to flag this game. This guy has been playing pretty well. It's unreasonable for me to have a chance to win this game. Of course, I'm going to flag this one. Of course, I'm going to flag this one. Let's see the analysis. What does it say about me? Probably got to work on castling. So we got a nice raid there from Jose MVP. It's a little bit distracted, lost a little bit more time than we wanted to. But honestly, our opponent played pretty well, and I think he played pretty dangerously for 500. Definitely the type of opponent that should beat the rules that I've got on screen. I think so. Okay. Let's see here. Castling, of course, is my #1 training tip. Isolated pawn, pawn island, backwards pawns. Yeah. Most of that was my opponent had a better pawn structure. 0 blunders. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What rules are these? You'll see them in a sec. But yeah. Tough loss there. Castling, always a training thing. I don't know how. It's just literally always there. What was the missed win? Let's see. Bishop takes c5 is a missed win. Instead of that, I should have played d4. So I could have had a +2 advantage, and instead I had a almost +1 advantage. That seems like a pretty harsh evaluation. Missed win? I don't know about that. But d4 was a good move here, put it that way. d4 was a good move. Yeah, d4, guys. That's it. Missed win for the boys. All right. We get back. We get back. And let's play a couple more games for today. See where we end off at. Okay. E4. E5. You guys know the drill. Hopefully you know the drill at this point. You guys actually feel as you're watching, like when I'm playing moves and you guys are seeing the response, that you sort of get the moves that I'm going to play even before I play them? Because hopefully you do. These 3 moves should be almost like literally automatic at this point. You know my bishop's going to go there. You know I'm going to play this move. You know I'm going to castle. Okay, castle ASAP. Okay, you guys know I'm going to go here. You know I'm probably going to go here. My next move is probably going to be here. Basically, if some of my pieces get attacked, then I might think about it. Okay, knight there. Now, usually when a bishop goes there, I play pawn up immediately. And generally speaking, when a knight goes there, I bring my rook out or I do something else, and then I play this next move. I think that's been the practice for me in almost all my games. So if the bishop comes out, h3 or a3 immediately. If a knight goes here or here, then I usually wait a move and then play it. It's sort of what I've been doing, just as a rule. So takes. Now, if I had to take with a pawn, it's not a bad idea, but I think most people at the 400 level, they're not going to double their pawns for no reason. So I'm going to take back with the rook. h5. I don't really know what he's doing here. I'm going to continue my sort of plan, like bringing all the pieces out. Okay, g5. He's starting to go like pretty crazy. He's going for a big attack. Now, do I really know what attacks are or not? I'm not sure. But he's going here, so I'm probably going to like think about reacting over there, but let's say we just finish that development. We finish it. Rook d1, this is what I've been doing every time. g4, it's a capture, we take immediately. That's what we're up to. Now, for the first time in a long time, our knight actually can't go to the center, and it's being attacked. It's pretty rare that that's happened, but we're finally getting it. Now, in this case, after you sort of calculate all the knight moves, and you're like, what's good, what's not, what you'll realize is that there's only two. There's this one and this one. Which one is more likely to be played? I'm inclined to say this one, more towards the center. This is kind of on the side of the board. And just as a rule, we don't want to be placing many pieces. Well, I should say here and here. You don't want to be putting many pieces there in general. And I think I haven't in any of my games so far. So I'll choose this one. Seems to make more sense to me. One of the next moves I'll be thinking about is knight there. It's a knight in the center. It looks safe, and that definitely looks like a follow-up I would do. Again, did I see this coming? No. I don't really know what a skewer is, but what I can see here is if I move my rook, I'm going to lose my queen. That kind of sucks. So I'm going to put my knight in. At some point, you just have to admit that you lost the rook. And as I said earlier, I expect that some of the decisions that I'm making, you are not going to be able to make as quick. Now, I understand that, but in the interest of doing this series, I'm making the moves fairly quickly because I'm spending a lot of time explaining or talking to the chat. And if I spend all the time explaining plus making my move, it's going to take a long time, and I'm not going to get as many moves in. So that's why sometimes I play a move very quickly and then explain it after so I can use my opponent's time. Am I going to play knight f6 here? No, of course not. Is it even a good move? Not really, honestly. But of course, if something gets taken, I'm going to take it back. Am I going to bring my knight back or double my pawns? No, I'm going to take with the queen, of course. But of course, after bishop takes, there's no way anyone's playing this. It's not even a good move, honestly, but it could be found now. But one of my rules says no tactics. Now, sometimes there'll be a hanging piece, and you guys are like, oh, 400 would never take that. And I'll take it because it's like, hey, it says if it's a free piece, you take it. So by the same token, that's a tactic. Even if a 400 might play it, I'm not going to play it. That's not part of my outline. So I'm going to play this. It gets the pawn out of the way, and it hits the knight. Seems like a reasonable move. Seems like a reasonable move. We'll see what he does. Knight there. Now, I think this is a good time to make a move in the center. Okay, we take back. Now, again, guys, I know this is here this whole time. But remember, the things on the screen are the guidelines. Knight f6 is a tactic. That's a fork. At the 400 level, you probably don't know much about any type of tactics. So I'm trying to show you guys an outline, a way to play that kind of covers your bases and helps you play good moves. You might miss really good moves from time to time. You might play bad moves as a result, but knight f6 would sort of break the rules. Okay, queen there. That is technically a fork. To be honest, most of the time my bishop gets attacked here, I always play bishop b3. So I don't think it's crazy to play bishop b3 here, and that's what I'm going to do. And again, it might take longer to find these moves. Maybe you wouldn't find them, but this is according to my rules. Pretty much every time my bishop's been attacked on c4, I've gone bishop b3. So I think this makes a lot of sense. Queen back. Again, knight there totally possible. What have we been following? Pawn moves in the center. Take with the pawn. Looks reasonable. Okay, he's attacking my knight. Now I have to move. Now that my knight's attacked, do you guys agree that it's pretty reasonable that even if I don't see knight f6 as a fork, I'm probably going to play knight f6? This is what I'm saying. At this point, knight f6 is like the most likely move on the board. Because who's going to move a knight backwards? It's very hard to do a move like that. Very hard to do a move like that. Yeah, knight f6, exactly. And then don't take the queen. Exactly. Knight f6, and then, I don't even see this move. I don't even see this move. If it's my turn here, I play knight f6. I check you. I feel great about myself. Maybe I take a free pawn. You know what I mean? So pawn, backwards knight move, unlikely. I've got this knight I haven't really used. I think it would be good form to bring it into the game. So I'm going to bring the knight in. I think in general, backwards moves are pretty hard to see. The 400 level, so. We'll go knight d3, bring the knight into the game. It's free stuff, yes, but we're sort of breaking a mini rule by forking there and using a discovered attack. That's two tactics in one. So we're playing knight f6, and I'm not allowed to use the knight or the rook to take that queen, because that's a fork, and that's a discovered attack. Okay, so he saves his queen. Now, my turn again. Knight f4 seems reasonable. I'm moving the knight more and more up the board. Actually, at this point, I think it's time for a random pawn move. Just throw a4 in there. Let's play a4. We haven't really done a kind of random move yet. So time for a4. I think knight f4 might be my next move. We'll see what he does. Why haven't we done g3? Because I played h3 already. So I've already done my kingside pawn move that I want to do. Okay, and let's go knight f4. This is the move I mentioned last time. King f1. King f1 is a really random move to play. I wouldn't count on it. Okay, if he takes, of course we're going to take back. He goes here, and probably going to trade. Absolutely going to trade. We always want to trade. We got mated on h1. Completely logical. Completely logical. Of course this is going to happen to you at 400. This is a very typical game. You're completely winning. You miss a free queen. Otherwise didn't play moves that were too bad. And this guy just goes like this and mates you. This literally probably happens all the time. It's like all the time. It's exactly how a game could end. But you have to understand the rules that I have outlined, they're not foolproof. We're gonna be losing games. This is 400 ELO. There's nothing you can do. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. Look at this. The queen is going here, 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 here. What I'm saying is that in the long term, following these rules is going to pay off more than it won't. What do we look at here? We look at the fact that actually our opponent, he pretty much launched an attack here with no pieces. What do I have to do? Okay, if my opponent's doing like a bunch of random queen moves in a row, maybe I should pay attention to what he's threatening. But at 400, you're going to blunder mating ones. You might blunder based on following these rules here. Because I played knight here, you played queen there, and I said, look, if there's trades, you got to do trades. Got to do trades. And it bit us here. But in the long term, if you follow these rules, maybe you'll win 8 games, you'll lose 2. You'll win 7 games, you'll lose 3. This might be one of the 2 or the 3 games you lose, but in the long term, I think we got ourselves a good position by following the rules on the screen. And of course, yeah, it's also important to note, you'd be totally on tilt here if that was your game. So you'd analyze it. Like, yo, what the hell? Maybe we need a rule, don't get checkmated? No, of course not. Because we don't know a lot of tactics at 400, so of course we're going to potentially get mated a bunch of times. Okay, let's see the report. Okay, we did pretty well. We had 9% accuracy. You know, well, it's not bad. I mean, our opponent had 11.6, so it's a pretty close game. 9 versus 11. I mean, you look at that graph, that kind of speaks to a 400 game, I would say. Well, metal chest, don't hang pieces for free. Might be unreasonable for any level. Everyone hangs free pieces, but I'm saying to the best of your ability, that's the goal. You don't want to hang things for free. You can blunder, but free pieces. If you're hanging something for free, it means that you didn't check where your opponent's pieces could move and you didn't realize that they could attack yours. Is this a troll? I played a 9% game. So many things happened, and the only thing they want me to work on is castling. That's it. That's all they want me to do. Castle. And in fact, I did castle. Matter of fact, why don't we talk about my friend over here, the Duke of the Duke Leto Atreides. How about we talk about Chief over here? Did Buddy Boy castle? I don't think so. Buddy's king's on e7. I'm being told to castle. This guy doesn't know. It doesn't know his left from his right. But king e7. And I'm getting told to castle by chess.com. Nothing else is wrong with my game. Telling me to castle and I'm going to be a better player? I don't think so. I castled just fine. In fact, I castled and I got mated because I castled. Matter of fact, this guy played king e7 and he won the game. Yeah, great one. Great one. No, it's kind of a troll. I'm being told to castle when I've already castled, and that's the main reason I lost the game, actually. Well, I'll definitely be adding some rules about that to the next part. To the next part. Yeah. Well, I'll figure it out, boys. I'll figure it out. That's on me. That's on me. Constantly castle to assert dominance. Just go like this, undo it, and then do it again. Alright, well, that was pretty ridiculous, but we're going to work on our castling for next game. Okay, next game. E4, you guys know the drill. D5, we haven't seen that before. It's an exchange. Let's go. Queen out. Of course I'm going to choose this one because it hits the queen. But those are my next two moves. Those are my next two moves. Am I going to see bishop b5? Hell no. I have no idea what that move is. F5 looks like a terrible move. Am I going to see this? Nope. I'm going to play d4. Pawn in the center. Takes control. Now, on my next move, I'm not going to be able to play bishop there because he's covering it. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go bishop here because bishop b5 is a tactic, and I don't know what those are. So I'm going to play bishop here. We're following the rules. Sometimes it helps us to follow the rules, and sometimes it trolls us. Knight e4. That's a capture. I've always said that we want to capture with knights before bishops. General rule. We're going to take that. Okay. Now, I've probably realized that I'm screwed. If I take this, I'm going to lose. And this is a fork, I guess. Now, the only thing that's going to save me here is that my knight is being attacked. And every time my knight's being attacked, I always say move it to the center. Knight e5. There we go. And our own rules saved us. Our own rules saved us from losing a piece there. OP. OP. Grams, thanks for the gifted sub, my guy. Okay, queen there. My bishop's being attacked. Why don't I move it to the number 1 square I wanted to move it the entire game. No tactics? Well, no tactics for me. He has a fork there. That's a tactic. I'm not allowed to use tactics. Bishop c4. Supported. Why not? Why not? And again, queen h5 might be a very good move soon. But so far, we're just playing moves that are not foreign. These are moves we've seen in previous games. It's usually where I put my bishop. He goes bishop there. I literally attacked this guy's queen, and he played bishop there. Technically, it's a free piece. But am I going to take this free piece? Hell no. I'm a 400. I've attacked your queen. You haven't moved it. That means you're an idiot, and I'm going to take your queen. Okay, he takes there. I'm probably like, okay, I'm actually an idiot. I lost the queen too, but at the same time, I'm going to take your bishop. I'm going to go ahead and take that, for sure. Bishop b7, of course it's available. That's kind of a tactic. We're not going to play that. We're going to take a free bishop. It's for free. It's for free. Should have castled? Well, trust me, when we see the game report on this game, it's going to say, hey, did a good job castling. Why don't you focus on the opposition? Okay, knight there, that's a capture. 100% do captures. And you know what? That's a pawn in the center of the board where all my focus should be. So I am going to take that next move. Okay, this guy literally castled instead of taking my piece back. I don't know what he's up to, but that's another piece I can take. That's another trade. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to think twice. This guy goes here. It's like completely confusing me. I have no idea what's going on. This knight doesn't really have anything more to take. Knight here saves my knight. I think that's the most reasonable move. It's also quite possible that, you know, I just lose my knight here and go bishop e3, but I don't think it's crazy to go here. I don't think it's crazy to go here. It's a backwards knight move, I get that, but I think it's to the point where I've literally taken all his pieces. I'm not doing this because it defends the pawn. I'm doing this because it's the only square available. Now, again, check is possible. So many things possible. Pawn is hanging, though. I think it's fair I could take this. And this might not be the best move. After rook there, you'll notice I've actually trapped my own knight. But I wouldn't know that. I'm just here taking pawns. Rook takes d4. That's a check. Well, bishop d2 gets out of the way. But when you're in check at 400, all you do is you click the king and you're like, where can I put this thing? King e2. King c6. Where do I want to put my bishop the entire game? That square right there. Makes sense. It happens to hit a rook. We'll take it. Every game I put my bishop here, 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 or here. There's only 4 squares I've ever used in any game I've played so far. Any game. Okay, so it's time to bring the rooks to the middle. That's one, and that's going to be the other. Here we go. So I got my rooks to the middle, completing that final part. This is what I've done every single game. Free pawn on a7. Yeah, you have to take free pieces, not free pawns. You have to take free pieces, not free pawns. Okay, that's a trade. We will easily do that. Okay, that's a check. Do I know this is a skewer? Absolutely not. But is it totally possible that they'll play rook d1? Yeah, that's a check. Is it totally possible they'll take the rook? Yeah, that's a hanging rook. Hell yeah. We're going to operate in, the idea of like, hey, you just played this, I'm going to play that. We'll let them off the hook. But I think it's completely reasonable to take this rook. The only reason I'm not is every time I, break a rule by accident about taking or using a tactic. Technically, that was a skewer. I usually don't execute the tactic because, technically speaking, this is a tactic. So every time I do that, I don't take the rook away. He goes here. We'll take that. Another gifted sub from Grams. Bishop e4 check. Very logical move. Yeah, super logical. He goes here, hitting our pawn. Not crazy to defend that, in my opinion. Let's go here. hey, he's offering me something to take. I'll take it 10 times out of 10. We're getting checked. Obviously, we're not going to block. That's quite advanced. We're going to move our king. Let's move our king. Only places we can go are here and here. We're just going to choose this square. It is closer to the center, technically, and it's an endgame. Okay, rook here. He's attacking our pawn. I think it's very reasonable that we would push this pawn because we think we're going to get a queen, not realizing that, hey, he can actually catch us here. Now we probably see if we queen. We're not going to actually get that queen, which is a little bit unfortunate. So we give up our pawn. We look to take our opponent's pawns. That's exactly what we should be doing. In an endgame, we want to take pawns, and we want to activate our king. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be taking this pawn. I'm going to be activating our king. That's a pawn for me. And I'm looking to use my king now. Looking to use my king. Will I go here? Of course not. I have no idea about that. We're going to use our king. Rook c1 was too much. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because my point is, in the endgame, you're not going to play perfectly. Okay, that looks like it's free. And so we'll probably take with the bishop, just to point out that it's free. Check. And he resigns. My point is that, of course, in an endgame, you're going to play nowhere near perfectly at 400. But everything I'm doing is technically following these rules. I think playing very natural moves, trying to queen this pawn, realizing you missed it. And then when it comes to the endgame, move your king a lot and attack your opponent's pawns. Those are my 2 rules for the endgame. Move your king a lot. Get your king involved if you can. And just attack pawns. Attack all his pawns with your pieces. That's what we want. That's what we want. There we go. Oh, we sunk our opponent to 243. Damn. Oh, that's rough for the lad. It says activate. Yes. What's your point, Metal Chess? Activate the king. So up at the top, it says always control the center, move towards the center. It also says activate the king. So we want to activate the king, get towards the center, and if possible, we always want to attack our opponent's pawns in the endgame. So that's why I decided to go rook here, and rook takes pawn. All right. Let's see if we can go for one more game, see if we can get 450. Uh-oh, we got Colombian Jack. Damn. All right. You guys know the drill. E4, E5. Okay, here, we always make the opposite knight move. If he moves this knight now, we'll bring that knight out. This, we always attack a bishop whenever it goes here. We've done this before. And anytime he takes, we always take towards the middle of the board. Everything aims towards these squares. And now we finally met someone who's actually taken our pawn. That hasn't happened before. We haven't seen this. Do I know queen e7 to take this pawn back? No, hell no. Hell no. I'm going to go with my usual. Knight f6. Knight f7. I don't know who this guy is, but that's a free piece. I'm going to take it. e5. He's hitting my knight. Do I know about pins? Nope. Am I going to move my knight to the center? Yep. Choice of these 2 squares. Let's pick this one. Usually, I always pick this one, unless this one's available, let's say. Usually I always pick this one when this one's not available. And if I had a choice, I think it's literally it. I think it's pretty random which one I would choose. If I'm trying to make a rule for a 400, I don't really know. But I'm going to choose this one for now. Queen h5, I'm in check. People at 400 don't block checks. They move their king. King should go where? King e6, king e7, king g8. Who knows? King g8. We're getting castled. Chess.com better accept this as castling, boys. We're going to check this one after the game for castling. Central, we're not quite in an endgame, though. In an endgame, I agree. Centralized king is good. We're not quite there, though. We're not quite there. No, centralized moves don't make a lot of sense when there's lots of pieces on the board. The rule is in an endgame, we want to go there. Okay, so we want to still get the rest of our pieces out. Metal Chess, 5 gifted subs. Thank you, man. Metal Chess. Cheers. I can't get my bishop here. I can't get it here either. So I guess we go here. I don't have much. I don't have much to do. Do we know what is the end game? No, I mean, You never know exactly, but generally when a lot of pieces have been traded, I think is a fair way to say it. Bishop h6, I have no idea what this move is, but it's free. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. I just have to. That's part of the rules. Check. Okay, we're going to move our king. He does not care for his pieces. Absolutely. Okay. Castling. Now, my turn. I have this bishop that I want to get out. So I think it's very reasonable for me to play d6. I've played d6 every single game. Am I going to see after d6 that I'm attacking his queen? Probably not. But he's played e6. He's played e6. How am I going to get out of this? I want to develop my bishop, but I can't at the moment. And if I take, he's just going to take me back. Okay. My rook can't get out. My king can't move. Really? So I don't think it's unreasonable to play rook g8. You played me today, Sebastian? Great games. You're talking about while I've been on this account? GG if so, buddy. He checked me. King, not to the center. King g7. You'll get mated? Heh, yes again, buddy. Remember, king doesn't go to the center when there's lots of pieces on the board. Oh, look. Oh, chess.com. You like that, buddy? Oh, we're not going to have to work on castling anymore. Let's go. Let's go. Easy. Easy. Exactly as chess.com intended it. All right, c4, my knight's being hit. I got to pick a safe square. No, no, no. Okay, so I got 1, 2, and 3. 3 moves. I would say in general, in most of the games I've played so far, how many times have you guys actually seen me have a knight on g4, b4? Pretty much never. Pretty much never. This move makes the least sense to me. To me, it's a choice between f6 and b4. Absolutely, either of these moves are possible. Honestly speaking, if you guys have watched my games today, I have brought the knight back to this square where possible, or if necessary, more than I put it somewhere aggressive. So knight b4, knight g4, or even knight g5, knight b5. I'm trying to think of games that I've played today where I've played those moves, and I can't think of one. I can't think of a single one. I can't think of one. So I'm going to play here. This is a more natural move to me. It's a square I'm familiar with. I know that that was good at some point, and I have no idea what this square means. Trap the queen? I have no idea what that means. Sounds like a tactic to me. Okay, he's gone here. I'm having a hard time developing my bishop, which is quite annoying. Quite annoying. So maybe I realized at some point my only way is to develop it here. So I'm going to do that. Okay, again, I don't think it's crazy to play random pawn move here. It's about that time. Random pawn move. Okay, that's capture. We always do it. We always capture things. So basically anytime, okay, he's going here. It's offering me to capture things. We just take, 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 take. Always take those. That's a capture. We take those 1,000% of the time. Now, my turn. We kind of need more random pawn moves. I think pretty soon I'm going to start doing this move. It's a pawn push in the center. It's a move I've done before. Usually once these pawn moves run out, I do the pawn push in the center. So he's done a pawn push. I've taken it because we always take things. He's offered me a free rook. I have to take it. Free piece for me. Free piece for me. We always take those. Brando the Bully says, Hambo, if you love me, you'll trap the queen. Brando, I know this is a 400 stream, but I want to explain something to you. If you look at the squares the queen can go, what you might notice, Brando, is that the queen is already trapped. So I'm not sure if you realize this, but the queen is actually already trapped here. Brandon's at 2300 in our chat, so just explaining him some of the basics here. But the queen's already trapped. King there. What is this? More free pieces? We take that. We take that. More free pieces. I have to take it. More free pieces. You guys know the rules. They're written on the screen. Okay, he's going g4. Do I really know what's going on here? Not really. I've been moving this rook and taking things nonstop. I think it's fairly reasonable. I would go here. g5, that's something free. Gotta be taking that. Okay, now at this point, again, I've got lots of options, but whenever I have had a pass pawn, what have I done? Just push him, baby. You guys have seen it before. I've run the A pawn all the way down the board. Okay, that's a free pawn. We're going to take that. But all I do is run the pawn down. All I do is run it down. Run it down mid. Literally, that's what this guy's doing. Tyler won for the win. See what he does here. Aaron, thanks for the 100 bits as well. Richard BPK with 4 months. And Uncatronius with the fresh prime. Okay, he's going here. I'm going to ignore him and push him. Okay, this isn't crazy stuff. We're pushing for the win. And now, as I've always said, when you're trying to deliver a checkmate, make sure every move that you do is a check. Every move you do is a check. No, there might have been mate in one, but every move you do, make it a check. There we go. And we're over 450. We're over 450. We got a win there. And I think we followed the rules to a T. I'm 450. This feels good. This feels good. Okay, we got to check this, guys. I know it's a win. But, oh, Potent Ponables, 50 gifted subs. Holy cow, is that for 450? Oh, okay. Guys, if you haven't seen, Potent came in with 50 gifted subs earlier in the stream. He's been going nuts today with the support. That's 100 just on the day for Potent with the gifted subs. Who got a sub? Who's got a sub in there? Thank you, Potent. Oh my god. Thank yous all around to Potent if you got a sub. Make sure to mind your manners, chat. Please and thank you. Any Dodgers? Any Dodgers? Let's go, Potent. Thanks a lot, man. BA Checkmate coming in for 17 months as well. Big support from Potent. Grams again with the gifted sub. Shout out to that guy. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We gotta, I said we were gonna check if it was castling. I'd do one more. Same. Yeah. Good. We said we were gonna check, so let's see. I don't have castling. This is ridiculous. Did chess.com see how I castled there? I don't have castling as a recommended training tool. Are we looking at the same game? What? What? Chess.com. Yeah, I think he's got the hang of it. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Crack 5 hundo. We can try, but remember, I could be losing a bunch of games too. It's not like a speedrun where I'm just gaining rating every game. Okay, here we know what we're gonna do, right, guys? When this happens, this happens. When that knight goes out, that knight goes out. So in general, when we see this, we're gonna play knight f6, and you know why we're gonna play knight f6? Because we have never seen this before, and if it happens, it should hurt us based on the rules that we've discussed. You get the knights out first. He didn't play it, so it's kind of fortunate. That's kind of fortunate. Oh, he played it a little bit too late, guys. We get to castle now. Castle ASAP. It's on the screen. Whew. Got saved there. Got saved there. Sorry there, buddy boy. We got out. Now chess.com's gonna tell me to work on my castling when I did it at the pristine perfect moment. My goodness. Okay, d6. As I said, when the knight's there, I generally kick it out, not right away, but one move later. And that's what I've been doing every single time. Oh, I wish, Potent. Chess.com's out to get me, though. Every time I castle well, they tell me to work on castling. Okay, what have I done every time? I generally haven't played bishop here because what happens is I'd have to take with a pawn, and at 400, it's not the most obvious thing to double your pawns. So I usually start with a rook and then go with the bishop. Yeah, Rose Thor. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Okay, he goes here. Now, do I know about maybe doing this move or whatever? No. All I know is this was my next planned move. So let's do it. I know it hangs this pawn, but this was my plan, so I'm going to follow through. Hey, what's up, Spenny? You just got a role in a TV show? Is that what you're telling me? I appreciate the song, Dono. I'm probably gonna leave the song for now, just while we're doing this stream. But you know, I'll get you a song for either another stream or if we change to something else. But just for this part, I'm gonna leave the tunes kind of chill, just playing our lounge playlist for now. But thanks for the 5. A day player? What does that even mean? I'm not too familiar with the rules or the words for TV roles. Thanks for the new sub there, buddy. Cheers, Prometheus. Okay, that's a trade of a piece. This is another trade of a piece. We take. You don't hear any music? I know. It's in the background. The focus isn't on the music today. It's to make sure you guys can hear what I'm saying. So it's supposed to be super faded. Queen c4. Again, what have I done every time, guys? I've done this and rook over. This should be no surprise. You only have 2 lines. You're just shooting for the day. Well, Spenny, I mean, you might think that isn't that great, but I personally know multiple crack addicts, and if you tell them that you only have 2 lines and you'll be shooting for an entire day, buddy, let me tell you, you'd be a very, very popular guy in one of the local parks here. I promise you that. D4. That's an exchange. That's an exchange. We take that immediately. Now, yes, we want to take this pawn, but every time our opponent proposes a trade, we generally take it. Now, as for the next move, I think it is likely that I am going to take this pawn. Free stuff? Hell yeah, I'll take that. Generally, you sort of take with the lowest value piece. If I had taken with the rook, he would have been able to attack my rook. So you usually just take with the lowest value. So, knight's being hit. I see that. Now, knight e5, normally I would say do that. It's in the center. But if you guys take a look, after knight there, technically I would be blundering my knight. Remember, we cannot give up free pieces. So, where do we want to go? Well, knight there, side of the board. Knight here, literally back where I came from. Knight here. What happened that one game? Do you guys remember? The game I got checkmated in. When black attacked our knight here and we couldn't go to the center, what did I do? I brought it back to e1. So the most natural thing to do is to play knight d8. And I hope that makes sense to some of you guys. Knight here and knight here, I lose a knight. So that's just, it's not an option. It has to be knight here. It has to be knight here. So we're building up, some habits, some patterns from previous games as well. The 400 would play knight a5, knight e5. 400 might do a whole bunch of things, but if you're a 400 following the rules on screen, the rules that I'm telling you, you wouldn't do that. Okay, that's an exchange. We take those all day. Chess Kid, one of our mods in chat, just resubbed for 65 months. Can you guys even fathom that? Where's my buddy GM Edison? He just joined Twitch a day ago. Think about that, GM Edison. The Chess Kid has been here. He's been following the stream. He's been subbed for 65 months. Pretty much 5.5 years. Coming up to 5.5 years. And we got guys that are maybe just finding out about the channel. So there you go. Put it in perspective. That's how long we've been streaming, and that's how long he's been supporting. That could be you guys. All right, he takes here. It's our turn. We want to get our rook out, but our knight is literally trapped. We can't do it. I think it's time for a random pawn move. There we go. Okay, rook there. That's a trade immediately. Time for more random pawn moves. Let's keep shoving it down. Egan0121. I think we're going to try to put this series on YouTube. So if you're serious, you got a student, you're like, hey, this is maybe informative, but also kind of entertaining. Wish he was watching it. You can check it out on YouTube. I don't know when it's going to make it, but we'll probably try to release it on YouTube at some point. So hopefully you'll be able to find it there. Ubuntu, cheers as well, man. As well as Really's, the tier 1 sub. Can I offer trades like c6? Oh, definitely. Definitely. But usually the formula that I've been following is make the moves, like if they're trades, whatever, that correspond. There's always going to be a point where we make random pawn moves on the queen side. That's just how it is. Let's get more random pawn moves. Queen here. And at this point, I mean, he might be intending this. I don't really know about that move. c6 looks reasonable here. But at some point, what was my plan? It was to move my rook over, and I've been trying for a while to move this knight. Finally, I can move it. I don't think this is unreasonable. The real HT, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Well, this one is not random because it attacks the queen. Yeah, but let's say I'm not doing it because it attacks the queen. I'm doing it because at some point, I'll just move these 2 pawns. En passant, I have no clue what that is. Literally no idea. Let's bring the rook to the middle. This is what we were talking about. Am I worried this will make me worse at chess? No, not really. I think that Sub Sunday has contributed to that pretty seriously over the years. So I don't think this could be any worse. Okay, now I need some moves. This loses a pawn. I can't go there. Honestly, tough position. I don't really have anything to do. At this point, I think it's reasonable that I might start making increasingly random moves, like f6. At this point, I just don't know what to do. I have a tough position. My knight can't go anywhere. My queen seemingly doesn't have anywhere to go. My rook can't go where I think I want it to go. So I think I've entered a tough position and probably a game I should lose. Where does it say I have to trade? I just couldn't write all of the rules on here. Masters, like there's so many things. Like no en passant is also a rule. But imagine I wrote everything I can't do. The whole screen would be full of stuff. So some of the rules are kind of implicit, and I just tell you guys as I go. But that is definitely a rule that when you're at 400 and there's a fair trade proposed, immediate take. For example, like that. Immediate take. Okay, it's getting the end game. I don't think it's crazy. I'm gonna move my king up a square. Okay. This is a move I've been trying to do for a while. I finally can do it. Okay, take that. And remember, in the end game, lots of king moves and attack opponent's pawns where possible. So lots of king moves, attack pawns. That's all I'm doing here. I'm going forward because I want to attack these pawns. I literally, look at that knight. I'm not even using it. I'm not even using it. I'm using my king only. Trust me, at the 400 ELO, this is how you win endgames. You use your king. Look at this. This is like a superhero. Look at this. I'm going to win the whole game because of this. Do that. If you're ever in an endgame, dude, you're 400. Just move your king. Look at that. I didn't even touch my knight. It's like I didn't even have a knight. This is exactly what you want to do. Just king, literally. It's written on screen right there. Activate king in the endgame and attack pawns. That's all you need to do. You see how effective that was? My king went from here to here, and he didn't touch his king at all. Now, imagine he was also following these rules. As soon as this happened, what should he do? 1, 2, 3, probably. And then, would I be able to do this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So you see, if he had followed the rules, I wouldn't be able to execute it as easily. So that's real advice. It's very useful. This is a disaster. He didn't move his king at all. He's moving knight and pawns, and my king just walked all the way in. I have to take all his pawns, and I'm in a queen. It's very easy. Am I allowed to take pieces they blunder? Look at the screen. It says, don't hang free pieces and take free pieces. So am I allowed to take pieces they blunder? The opposite. I have to take pieces they blunder. I have to take pieces they blunder. Hey guys, just a reminder that Building Habits is going to be a regular series on our YouTube channel. So make sure to get subscribed if you are not already. Drop a comment down below for the algorithm and let me know what you thought about the video. See you next time.